Hello, it's Sadie. I wanted to come on and do the part 2 twin flame separation, and this is going to be titled The Purpose of Third Parties. For the purposes of this video, I am specifically only going to speak about third party karmic entanglement, so the toxic third party partner, and then romantic love soulmates, because there are different types of soulmates and there are other types of third parties as well. So just to clarify that, a couple things I want to say before I get started in this video. Number one, this video might be a little bit longer. I was getting, over the past few days, tons of downloads, tons of things Spirit wanted me to bring through. But I've really been kind of sorting it out as to how to bring it through in the most concise way. All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. I'm going to try to keep it under an hour though. Number two, for this video, my purpose with this video is just to kind of get you to see it in a different way, to expand your view, to maybe open your mind a little bit as to why there are third parties in the twin flame experience, okay? But because of that, some of what I may say may challenge your current belief systems and may trigger you. And what I want to say to that is, everything I say in this video, I say with love, I say with compassion and non-judgment. But there are things that I am guided to bring through, and so I'm going to bring it through, all right? Also, what I wanted to say is that, and this is something that my guides are always telling me, it's very, very important to remember, whether you consider yourself a twin flame, a starseed, a light worker, a shaman, a healer, that one size does not fit all, okay? We are all God, we are all spirit embodied, but we all came in with a very unique divine blueprint that we specifically divined and designed for ourselves to reach our highest potential in this incarnation, to become the best versions of ourselves, to actualize and to enter into self-mastery. Another word for that is enlightenment, okay? And so because of that, it is really important to understand two things. First, do not put yourself in anybody else's experience. Comparison is the thief of joy. And so when you compare yourself to others, you're actually robbing yourself of your own experience. And vice versa. Don't let anybody else tell you, oh, well, this is the way that I did it and this is how you should do it. That is not my purpose here. I am just giving you some insights and some information that I have been given, and I am just sharing that. I am not telling you in any way, shape, or form that you should do something in a certain way. You've got to do what's best for you, and only you know what's truly best for you, right? And number two, what I wanted to say is that it's really important for you to seek your own guidance about your twin flame journey. Yes, watch videos, read up on it, get more perspectives is helpful, but ultimately, and at the end of the day, your guides want you to connect with them and want you to come into your highest version of yourself and come into your highest potential by listening to your own intuition and your own intuitive nudges. And so while I make this video with the intention to open your mind and sort of broaden your view a little bit, I also make it with the intention of empowerment and pray, ask for guidance about your own journey, because I guarantee you it will be given to you. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. When you need the answers, they will come, all right? This is something that I have experienced personally because I went through a phase earlier on in my journey where I was watching a ton of twin flame stuff. This was about 3 or 4 years ago, and some of it resonated, some of it didn't resonate at all. I just kind of thought it was like frou-frou BS, truthfully, honestly. And I was really kind of like, okay, gosh, I feel even more confused than I initially did. And that's when my guides were like, well, why don't you just ask us? And then when I did, I started getting more downloads, more dreams, more insights as to my own personal twin flame journey. And I swear it has helped me so much. It's helped me gain clarity, lose confusion. It's also really helped me come to a place of acceptance of where I am at in my journey, especially being in separation, okay? And so I wanted to share that with you guys. So let's get started in this video. I'm going to briefly touch on what I mentioned in the first video, which was spiritual talk, twin flame separation, the purpose of separation. And the purpose of separation in its simplest form is to be kind of an initiation point for each individual twin, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, to step into their self-mastery, to self-actualize. Again, another word for that is to come into enlightenment. Another word for that is to come into their ascended self. And Spirit wanted me to kind of show this diagram, which is the diagram. It's kind of the stages of what we all go through as we are ascending. Now, I have to say, I am not a drawer. I love art, and it's funny because my father and both of my children are very artistically inclined, and they're great drawers and they're great painters, but that gene skipped me completely, all right? So I apologize for this drawing, but here is the stages of the ascension process. You are incarnated into a body, your human vessel, right? And before you are incarnated into your body, you actually pick your family, you pick the certain experiences that you're going to go through in your life. You pick the partners that you're going to have. You pick the children that you are going to have. You pick it all. You designed this. This is your divine blueprint that you designed, okay? And so you incarnate into a body. You can call this the caterpillar state. And in the caterpillar stage, because you were born, you're born into a certain family. There's already like a certain family dynamic, whether it's 2 parents, whether it's a divorced family, you know, there's so many different dynamics that we all incarnated into. You choose or were given a name, a social security number, a birth date, for some, a religion. From the time that you were born, you were baptized in a certain religion, you grew up in a certain culture. And so all of these things are your caterpillar state, but also they are what I like to call the persona, the personality, or the false self. And we'll identify in that false self, that persona, that personality. We identify as that person. And what we have to understand is that, yes, we have a body and we have a name and we have thoughts and we have feelings and we have emotions, and we have, you know, maybe a certain religion or culture that we were born into, or maybe we're a certain race. We have these things as part of our human identity, as part of our persona. But we are not these things. We are the soul. We are spirit embodied. And so, yes, while we have these things, our highest truth, our spiritual truth, is that we are spirit. And if you can accept that you are spirit, you can accept that these things, even though some of it is very, very beautiful and it's part of our life experience, is not our full experience. It's not the fullness of who we are. And so many of us who chose this ascension path will identify for a while. Sometimes even at a very young age, we understand that certain things that have been conditioned to us do not really fit. We don't really identify with the conditioning and with the label that our family has put on us or that society has put on us. And so we start to question things and we feel that sort of pull that there is something more. We go through life, we go through different experiences, and then we come to the crisis point. This is often the catalyst point. For some of you, your catalyst for your spiritual growth and ascension path was meeting your divine counterpart. For others of us, we had like a major trauma or a major tower moment in our lives that put us in this healing cocoon stage. Where we really had to do a lot of looking at ourselves, a lot of self-reflection, and a lot of looking at the sort of self-sabotaging behaviors and belief systems and toxic connections that we've held on to as part of the false persona, the false identity that actually no longer serve us, and do a significant amount of healing work and integration so that we can break through the chrysalis and become our truest versions of ourselves, to become our ascended self, all right? So that is the stages, those are the stages of the ascension process. Why this is important is because before we incarnate, as I mentioned before, we choose our family and we choose the experiences that we're going to have. It is perfectly designed for us because it is what our soul has decided will be the fastest route from point A to point C, all right? From the false self to the true self. Everything that we have gone through in our lives, our greatest victories, our greatest traumas have been designed and chosen by us. Just like we picked our families, we picked everything else so that we could ascend and evolve, all right? In the twin flame experience, you set up soul contracts with your twin to come into union at certain times, to develop certain skills at certain times, to activate each other spiritually at certain times, especially in separation. However, you have to understand that with soul contracts, there is also karma. So this is the reason why I know it is a commonly referred to thing in the twin flame community that there will be a lot of videos, the karmic. But I am of the perspective that we have karma with everybody, all right? Your family, if you have any sort of issue with any family member, there is karma there. There is a lesson there that you need to learn, all right? Friends, partners, business partners, bosses, co-workers, neighbors, if there are any sort of difficult or challenging issues that you are having with any of those people, that is because there is a karmic lesson there for you, right? And you contracted it. So my perspective and kind of what my guides were getting me to see as well on the twin flame journey, we will often contract third parties, whether it is the toxic karmic third party person or a loving soulmate, because again, it is the fastest route to get us from here to there. It is the fastest route to get your person from here to there, all right? So let me explain this further, because I know people are protesting already, like, no, that's not true. I don't agree with that. And I understand that perspective, trust me, because I've been there, but I'm gonna explain it further. So for a moment, we're gonna talk about karma. Karma gets a bad rap because it is sort of misrepresented, and people don't really understand exactly how karma works, because when you hear the word karma, you automatically assume that it is something that is negative. What you have to understand about karma is that it is simply a balancing mechanism in this state, in this realm of duality that we live in on the earth plane, where we believe in the illusion of separation. There needs to be an energetic balancing mechanism when energy gets too distorted. And so that is what karma is in its simplest form, a balancing mechanism. The way my guides explained it to me, and I did a couple videos probably about 2 years ago now on my channel where I talk about the truth about karma. You don't have to go and watch those videos. I'm just going to quickly summarize what my guides were explaining to me about karma is. You come into this life with both karmic credit and karmic debt, right? So the karmic credit that you come into the life with is like your natural gifts and talents, your natural abilities. If you can sing, if you can draw, if you are an artist, that is a karmic credit that you have honed and you came into this life with. Clearly, drawing was not my karmic credit because I am not a good drawer, right? But if you have natural athletic ability, you're, really good at public speaking, certain things like that, those are karmic credits. Those are things that you were born with and that you're coming into this lifetime with. It's very, very important, this lifetime, and I'll explain that in a minute, because it's actually going to help facilitate you again to get from this stage to this stage, right? In the fastest possible way for you. But on the flip side of that, we also come in with karmic debt. We come in with the things that we need to clear and balance. How you can tell if something is a karmic debt is it's a challenging pattern of behavior, all right? So things that are really challenging you to grow, but they challenge you to get you to grow, right? And the thing too is that oftentimes, especially in a lifetime like this, where I was told you actually, in this lifetime that we are in currently, in this incarnation, we are actually going to live like 10 to 20 lifetime experiences energetically in this one lifetime because of the acceleration and the expansion of the spiritual growth that is taking place as we are entering into the age of Aquarius, as we are the architects of the 5D earth. We are building it from the ground up, and that, number one, takes a lot of karmic clearing. And so we're really in the thick of that right now, doing that work, doing the hard work to really balance things out so that vibrationally and energetically we can build a world that moves from duality consciousness into unity consciousness, okay? And so your lifetime, this incarnation, what you are doing, your path is so important. You don't understand that there are legions of angels, guides, ancestors, star races with the spotlight on you, on me, on all of us who answered the call and who are doing the healing work so that we can become the highest versions of ourselves. The way Spirit was explaining it to me was think about the World Cup and the Super Bowl and the NBA finals and all of like the major sporting events that are like the pinnacle event that everybody wants to participate in. We are like the Tom Brady's and the LeBron James and like the top players. We didn't just choose this mission. We were chosen for this mission because we were equipped with the karmic credit, with the spiritual knowledge, with everything that we needed to fulfill the mission. And so all eyes are on us. It is game day. And, you know, we're doing the damn thing. So it's all good, right? Even though it's challenging, even though it's hard, even though it's confusing, it's just showing up and just shining your light, seeding your light, and really holding the light to be a beacon of light for others. It gives others the permission to do the same. And, you know, it influences the whole to raise the vibration up. And so that we are truly creating that 5D earth. Right. So you and everything that you are doing is so important. You have to know that, and you have to stop judging yourself and give yourself a little bit more credit because you're not giving yourself enough credit. But with that, in the karmic debt and the karmic credit that we come into, it's, you know, it's not a punishing mechanism. It is a balancing mechanism. And because this lifetime is so important, we have to come here now and balance 51%. This is what I was told, and I've heard it from other teachers as well. You have to balance 51% of the distorted energies that you have created in any lifetime, as well as many of us, myself included, we also took on the distorted energies from our ancestral line, our bloodline, and have decided that this was the lifetime that we would come in, we would clear it, because that work, again, it's like energetically living 20 lifetimes in one lifetime. The work that we're doing energetically is like living 20 lifetimes in one lifetime. But it really amplifies the vibration and raises it to a point where, you know, the light has the victory. We are bringing the earth, we are sending the earth and everything in the earth and on the earth to the next level. And so we are very, very important for this process, all right? But again, with the balancing mechanism and with it needing to be 51%, oftentimes, and those soul contracts that we create and design before we incarnate into this life, we'll pick souls that we have unfinished business with, or souls that we need to balance things out with. So this is part of the purpose for karmic entanglement, third parties, the toxic karmic, and soulmates, the loving soulmate, is that they're helping us, again, get from this space to this space. So let's talk about karmics and this karmic entanglement, the toxic karmic entanglement, and the loving soulmate, so that you kind of understand the difference of the energies. And then I'll get into the other things that Spirit wanted me to bring through for this video. So for the toxic karmic entanglement, it is a very fear-based energy relationship. And when I say fear-based, I'm talking about lower ego, lower chakras. It is based only on like lust or status or, you know, addictions, obsessions. There's a lot of imbalance and there is a lot of control and manipulation in those types of relationships. There's a lot of codependency. There is what I like to call the trouble sisters, drama and trauma, because when drama comes, trauma follows. And so there's a lot of constant drama and trauma in these relationships. There's the energy of codependency and not being able to kind of be your true authentic self. A lot of enmeshment and sort of needing to be what that person wants you to be to get their love and affection. There's a lot of walking on eggshells. There's always sort of this feeling of things being unsettled or unsteady. They bring out the worst in each other. It also could bring up a lot of violence and really, really negative traits and behaviors. They typically are short-term unless there is a soul contract in place that has to be fulfilled. I'll get into that later. And the biggest sign that it is sort of a karmic toxic entanglement is that they really keep you distracted. So you're not working on your purpose. You're not becoming a better person. You're staying in addictive patterns and behaviors. And it's sort of like this never ending hamster wheel of that drama and trauma energy. Even if there are points in the relationship where things are good, it's like it just reverts back to the drama and trauma, all right? Here's where it gets confusing, all right? Because some of these traits are similar to the traits that some of us have with our divine counterpart. All right, the intensity there, you know, for a karmic toxic entanglement, there could be this intense passion, this intense attraction, which is very, very true of the twin flames. For the twin flames, there could be drama and trauma as well. It's not an easy process because again, there is karma. There are things that you have to balance with your twin, and I'll do a separate video on that. But because of that and the intensity of the connection, it really will amplify each other's stuff, right? But the main difference between a twin flame and a karmic entanglement is that the twin flame is going to be a catalyst for you to really work on yourself and your purpose, and for you to grow and expand spiritually. Those are the two things that a twin flame will facilitate for you. The karmic toxic entanglement can never facilitate those things because it's a lower based energy. It's a lower based relationship. And so there's no emotional intimacy. There's no higher consciousness to it. It's just drama and trauma, enmeshment, and sort of this binding into the lower energies, all right? Here's the difference of the soulmate, the romantic, loving soulmate energy. There will be this instant connection and knowing. It may not be a strong magnetic pull, but there's an instant comfort. Like, I have known you forever. I feel like I have known you forever. I feel like I could talk to you forever. And that instantaneous connection builds trust and safety immediately. Like you immediately feel like you can trust that person. You immediately feel safe with that person. It's just very comfortable. It's a very safe, comfortable energy. With the soulmate, the loving soulmate, there's a lot of peace. It's very nurturing. It's very calming. They typically tend to be lighter and easier relationships than even the twin flame. It's just an easier love to be in. They're really a cheerleader for you, even if they don't quite understand all the stuff that you're into, like, because you're happy, they're happy for you, but vice versa. If you were feeling sad or feeling down, like they would feel your pain and they would like be very compassionate for your pain as well. The biggest difference between the romantic soulmate relationship and a twin flame is that there is no running or chasing. Like there's an instantaneous connection and then the two of you are just together. And it typically turns out to be a very long-term connection, all right? So I wanted to bring that through to kind of get you to understand what the difference is between the dynamics of the different types of relationships and the different types of energy. So one of the questions is, why would my twin choose the karmic that they're not happy with? So some of the situations and the questions that I was getting is from people who are in very, very specific situations. Everyone's situation is a little bit different. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of anybody's business and share that here, but I am going to sort of generalize what different people are going through and the questions that they asked me, all right? So again, one of the questions was, why would my twin flame choose the karmic that they're not happy with, the karmic entanglement that they're not happy with? And the answer to that is you guys are in different spaces energetically. It's the phrase, and I know many of you have heard this, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And what that means is you attract where you are vibrationally aligned to. So if you have a divine counterpart who is not awake, who is not doing the spiritual work, who is getting nudges from spirit by the continuous tower moments that are happening into their life with their health issues, with their financial issues, with the toxic entanglement and relationship issues, but they're still not doing the healing work. They're still not really looking at what needs to be released from their life. But you have been, and you're sort of in this healing state and you're raising your vibration, and this person is still in situations where their vibration is low. And I apologize, there is an ambulance driving past. That is why they're continuing to choose the karmic over you, and they run back and forth because there is an energetic misalignment. As long as your person stays here in their caterpillar state, you guys are not going to be vibrationally aligned if you're in your healing space and you're in your growing space. If they're just trying to vibrationally stay the same, your person is more energetically aligned to the toxic karmic and is really in the enmeshment right now. What I would say though is that, again, spirit gives nudges. It's kind of like, I've heard this expression where there'll be a knock on the door, no answer, and then the knock gets harder. No answer, still asleep, still not moving, still not growing, still not changing. And then eventually the door gets kicked in. So when it's time for your person, there's going to be some massive event that takes place that's going to get their attention and take them from this space to this space. Okay. So for whoever that resonates with, that is the reason why. The other question, one of the other questions is, why would the universe bring me and someone together just to split us apart? And again, it's going back to the growth. If you are growing spiritually, if you are here, like really just looking at your stuff, really trying to become a better person, really wanting to live a better life, you understand that you don't fully identify with the caterpillar false self anymore. You understand that there is more to you, there is more to life, and you're starting to explore that by growing spiritually. If you are with a person who's not in that space, that's also going to cause separation. It's also going to be the reason why, because now spirit is cocooning you from them to get you to grow and to help you to become the best version of yourself. And being in that relationship and that connection at this time is actually holding you back from your healing process, all right? Another question I received is, why would spirit or the universe, if I'm in a really loving, happy relationship, kind of throw my divine counterpart into the mix and bring all this confusion to it? And again, it's about growth. If you're in a really loving, healthy connection right now, but you've met your divine counterpart and they're sort of igniting all these feelings for you, that is also getting you to grow, getting you to expand, getting you to let go of the idea of how you think love and relationships should be. This is one of the most triggering things that I was told on my path, but it really kind of helped me come into acceptance. And it's this: the twin flame experience is not like any other relationship or connection that you will have in this lifetime. And because of that, you cannot fit it in a box or put it in a category like your other relationships and connections. There could be deep love, deep connection, deep passion for you and your twin, but you have to understand love is not just a feeling, love is also a choice. And so if you're being presented and kind of at a crossroads right now because you have a loving partner, a soulmate that you have built a life with and you're happy, and yet the fires and passion and ignition of that twin flame experience is happening because you have met a divine counterpart and you're not sure what to do, this is your crossroads. This is your point to make the choice in the direction that you want to go in. And there is no wrong choice. You have to understand that if you decide to stay in the situation that you're in because you don't want to hurt anybody, then that is the highest choice because it's the most loving choice. If you decide to leave the situation that you're in because you want to experience that other situation, there's nothing wrong with that either. Your soul has already designed how this is going to go, how this is going to be. You have a soul contract with both your twin and your soulmate and whoever else is involved in the situation. And so you all know at a higher level how things are going to play out. If you're happy right now, there's no reason to disrupt the apple cart. When it is divine time, it will be divine time, and nothing will stop that. It's kind of like what I was explaining about the knock on the door, then the knock gets harder, and then the door gets kicked in. Like when the cookies are ready and they're ready to come out of the oven and they're fully baked, like it's time, and heaven and earth will rearrange itself and sort itself for the two of you to be together. But right now, if the cookies are just halfway in the oven, like it's okay to enjoy that slice of cake that you've had for a long time that you love. There's nothing wrong with that. This is what brings me into what Kay, she did a great video on the truth about judgment. And it's just really, really important because, again, we try to fit it into the box of a traditional relationship. You are divine. You are a soul. Your person is divine too, all right? And so you both have to come into union with yourself, union with your divinity, to come into union as a divine partnership, as a sacred union, all right? But the twin flame is not the only divine and sacred relationship that you can have. We are all souls. And so there are other incredible, beautiful experiences that you may have contracted in because your twin is, you're here and your twin is here. This is very true for my situation. So one of the things my guides told me was that there would be a period of time where we would not be together. There would be someone else that came in for me. And then when that situation, because the soul contract was completed, we go our separate ways. It wouldn't be dramatic. It would be beautiful. We'd still be friends. At that time, I would come into union with my counterpart because I'm at this stage of it and he's at this stage of it. So you have to understand and accept the energetic space that you are currently in. And this takes a lot of self-honesty. Cynthia hit it on the head with a comment that she made. And I think I wrote part of it down because I was like, yes, she totally gets it. This is just part of what she said, but it says, not in a place where I could be in a healthy, mutually beneficial 3D relationship, let alone a divine partnership. If you take an honest look at the person that you love, your divine counterpart, the person you consider your twin flame, are they honestly in a place where they can be in a healthy, mutually beneficial 3D relationship or not? Because many, your person is not. They're still dealing with addiction issues. They're still dealing with their identity. They're still trying to, grasp this whole twin flame experience. They're still activating their spiritual gifts. And so they're not really ready for the divine partnership. And this is why a lot of times, especially the divine feminine, will contract in a soulmate. And it's because that soulmate, that soul nurturing love, that very comfortable, beautiful space, it's a beautiful space. It's a beautiful experience to be in. It's like an appetizer before the main meal. There's nothing wrong with that. Stop judging yourself. Stop saying, okay, because I know my twin flame, because I've met my twin flame, because I've been with my twin flame, we have to be together now. That is not true. And you won't be together if they're still here and you're here. So this is a time for self-reflection. This is a time for honesty to yourself. It doesn't have to be to anybody else. Just be honest with yourself about where you are at, about where your person is at. And when you can come into that honesty about where you are at individually and where your person is at individually, it'll really kind of help you accept separation in the space that you are in right now. I'll tell you what, honestly, I wouldn't say that I'm fully flying yet, but I feel like I have grown my wings and I'm kind of out of the chrysalis and just kind of like not fully comfortable with my wings yet. But there is no way, after all the work that I have done, especially over the last 6 years, that I'm going back to this. No way. So, you know what? My person can have as many karmic partners as he needs to get from this space to this space, because there is no way that I'm going from here back to there. I am not taking 10 steps back. I am not ruining 6 years worth of work on myself. So when you can come to that understanding and see it from the perspective of, I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep ascending. I'm going to keep expanding, because this is my purpose. And this is the service that I'm meant to do. When they're ready, they're ready. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. When everything's fully baked, the oven will ding and you can enjoy that experience. But until then, don't judge yourself for being attracted to other people. If you're in a situation with somebody else, don't judge yourself for any of it. It's all part of the experience that you have designed to bring you from here to here. So it is time again for more self-love, for more self-appreciation, and to just be easy on you, to be easy on the karmic. They are providing you a sacred service. Like I said, there is no freaking way at this point in my journey that I am going back to this. It's done. Like I'm not in the caterpillar state anymore. It doesn't resonate with me anymore. So again, it doesn't matter how many people my person needs to go through to figure out that they're not the caterpillar. I'm so grateful to them for doing that work. That for me, they're like the plumbers. I don't want to do that work. I'm done. I've done that work. I'm done. You know? So again, it's just about the perspective and sort of allowing your experience to be whatever it is in the moment. All right. So the other thing too is let's see, what do I want to with karmics and twins and soulmates, and the way that we have designed it, we've designed it perfectly for ourselves, right? But also, here's another triggering point, all right? The third party is also teaching you a lesson. So it's not just about getting your twin from here to there. They're also teaching you a lesson. So say your person has a third party that they've been with off and on with for a while. And every time they split from that third party, they come back to you, and then they split with you and they go back to the third party. And it's very triggering and it's very hurtful and it's very confusing to you. But again, you've been in that hamster wheel of drama and trauma. What is your lesson in that situation? Got to be honest with yourself. What is it that you need to learn and heal in yourself that's allowing you to continue to go back and forth, and allow your person to continue to go back and forth? Because there is a lesson there for you. Everybody's lesson is different. Your lesson might be boundaries, setting healthy boundaries. Your lesson might be just to say no. Like, until you can give me what I desire, I am not going to jump back and forth with you. You know, again, everybody's lesson is different, but that third party is also there to teach you something. And so it's really important to understand that. Because when you can understand that, when you recognize what it is that you need to learn, you'll do what it takes to bring it into balance. And then you've cleared the karma. And when you do that, the energetic dynamic of the situation changes because you've elevated out of it. You can't do the work for your twin. They've only got to do the work for themselves. But when the energy changes, when the energy dynamic changes, it usually is a catalyst to inspire them to want to make the changes that they've been stuck because you've gotten out of the hamster wheel energetically. And they realize they want to too. They don't want to be stuck in this anymore. All right. So there's a lot there. It's third parties are a good thing. I am now of that belief. Third parties are a good thing because, you know, they can facilitate a ton of healing for you. They can facilitate a ton of clearing karma. They can be those loving soulmates that is like your best friend. And when I'm saying best friend, I mean that romantic partner that you have that best friendship with too, that you can talk about things with, that gets you, that accepts you. That's a beautiful experience to have. Someone who just loves you, you know, where it's not so intense and it's not so emotional roller coaster like the twin flame experience. It's just easy and beautiful. There's, again, nothing wrong with that. Your experience is exactly what you designed it to be for your highest growth and your person's highest growth. And just really come into the acceptance of that you are exactly where you need to be. And that the purpose of all of it is to get you from here to there and is to get them from here to there. Because when you can come into union with yourself, when you balance your masculine and feminine energies, that's when you can fully be in union together and it's healthy. You will be in that divine union. It won't be the toxic union. It won't be the energetic binding. It will be that true divine union, that higher love that will be the template for love and for unity consciousness on this planet as we ascend and move forward into the 5D earth. And so you have a very special mission. You are divine, you are incredible, and you're exactly where you need to be. All right. So I hope this helped a little bit. I hope it didn't trigger too much. There is a lot of karma in this lifetime that we came to balance with our twin as well. So when you say karmic, if you're talking about toxic karmic entanglements or toxic karmic relationships, that's also something that needs to be balanced and healed. But once you recognize the pattern, that's what facilitates you being able to take the action and make the changes necessary to bring things into balance. All right. With the beautiful, loving soulmates that also get contracted in. Sometimes you just need love and affection from another person, from another soul that really gets you, that understands you. Yeah, you may not have that deep, intense, burning connection that you have with your divine counterpart, but it is a beautiful, safe space to also heal and grow. And so none of it is wrong. Third parties are actually a good thing to help facilitate healing and facilitate union within self and within the twin flame connection. And so just love yourself through all of it, because you are so loved and you are so cherished. And it's just really important to let go of judgment for yourself, let go of judgment for others, let go of judgment for the karmic entanglement, let go of judgment towards your twin or towards any soulmate that comes into your life. The process of ascension is not just raising the consciousness and vibration of your mind, but it is opening the heart so that you can become that heart-centered and soul-inspired person that lives their most authentic truth in this lifetime, in being the light, being the change, being the example you wish to see in the world. That is our mission. And so we're all doing it. We're all doing it in our own individual ways. All right. That's all I want to bring through for now. I think that's enough. And I'm at 55 minutes, almost 56 minutes. So I'm going to stop. But if you have any other questions or want me to bring anything else through, I definitely will. And the last video is going to be called Twin Flame Separation, Learning to Find Peace. Coming into acceptance and learning to find peace. All right. Sending all my love to you guys. Take care.